Hello, everyone. Welcome back to part two of my Florida road trip and comic hunting. So, today we went to the Coliseum of Comics in Claremont. For those of you who don't know the shop area in Florida, there are loads of Coliseum of Comics. It's kind of one of the big chains out there. There's about 10 stores across Florida, all ranging from comics, pop figures, gaming, so Warhammer, all other tabletop games. And each store does actually kind of specialize more in each of those kind of disciplines, shall we say. So sometimes they're a bit more comic-y, sometimes they're a bit more gamey. So this one's a bit more of a comic shop. There's the very infamous Absolute Batman, which everyone seems to really want at the moment. I haven't picked up it myself. I was very close to picking it up, but I decided on some other newer books. So great shop here with loads of modern comics and all of the very well graphicked comic boxes. I've got one myself for Thor. Rook Exodus, one of my favourite new comic book runs at the moment. It's very small. It's only, I think, six issues at the moment, but a very, very good run. Really enjoying that. Hope they extend it. Here are some of the figures. I've been very tempted by these in the past, but I know I have to stick to one thing at a time. So currently sticking to comics. You never know, I might get one or two big statues in the future, but they do get very, very expensive. So I might have to hunt around for the right one. I'm always trying to work out one with a good face, because some of the faces are just not so great. So I actually came to this store probably about 2 years ago, and it was a really good store. And I picked up loads of $1 and $2 books. They've got a really cool scheme where you can get stamps. So if you buy 10 comics, you can then get a discount off, for example. Yeah, I'm always on the lookout for new bags and boards, but I'm a bit of a snob on the bags. So I really only like the My Light 2s, the standard size. So I have bought the modern size before accidentally, but they worked out really well. So here I am finding some Invincible. Alongside Thor, I do love Invincible. It's one of my favourite comic series. I read all the trade paperbacks. So each of the trade paperbacks, they have about 4 or 5 of the issues in, and they go up to about 25 or 26, I think, off the top of my head, trade paperbacks. But I've enjoyed the series so much that I've actually started to collect the single issues. I'm about 60, 65 in, so I'm always looking for good value Invincible single issues. I've actually got this one, but it's not in such a great shape. So when I'm talking about good value, I'm probably trying to get some of the main bulk of the run as $5 or $10 books. In the UK, you can probably pick them up for about £10, probably not a lot less. The Invincible run, which I'm sure most of you guys know, are a limited series. So in terms of a limited print run. So there hasn't been a huge, so there's not a big volume of them. So some of the later, there's only about, I think, between 10 and 20,000 printed. So it's they're rarer. They're not super rare, but they're rarer than probably your modern day comic where they're printing 100,000 to 1,000,000 comics a go, like the Batman. So I'm always on the lookout for Invincible at a good price. That I fully appreciate they're going to start going up in value because of the TV show on Amazon. Must watch if you haven't seen it already. and also it's a must-read comic series, whether it's the trade paperbacks or in the kind of the big, absolute omnibus style collections. They are fantastic. Here I'm walking around having a look at one of those big statues. I think this one was about $800. It's really cool, but again, it's for me, it's all about the face. So if you have a quick look up close, then they do change. So this one's got an okay face to it. $65, not too bad. But as I say, I'm going to probably wait till I've got most of my comic run complete. Then I'll have to have a good conversation with my wife of where a big statue goes. Here looking through, I'm always on the lookout for some of the Thor omnibuses. So big collections of older Thor books. So I've been reading volume 1. I've been reading Journey into Mystery, which is the collection of 83 to up to 125, plus the Journey into Mystery annual. So I'm always on the look for the volume 2 and then subsequent volumes. It's a really great medium. I really enjoy reading it in those larger kind of omnibus style. The color in them is great as well. Here's a God of Thunder, great series, Jason Aaron. So this was about $40 for the collection. I think they do it in about 3 or 4 parts. I've got the single issues of these, so I've read those and really, really enjoyed the run. Here's my wife taking some more video of some of the statues and the pop figures. I do like pop figures, but only on specific characters. Some harder to find than others. And here we are, one of my favourite characters, Beta Ray Bill. Really cool little statue, that one. I think that was about $60 to $80, I think, off the top of my head. And then we obviously finish off with the wall, Journey into Mystery. I actually have all of these. That first Thor and Hulk battle is $200, which is probably a little on the high side. I picked mine up as a 5.0 in about $180. But there we are. So back in the UK, we have 2 pickups from Coliseum of Comics in Claremont. Not Thor today, but it was 2 Invincible books, 2 Invincible comics. I have taken them out of their protective sleeves, their protective plastic and hardboard and hardbacks, because I want to show you off some of the artwork. So we have Invincible 67, and then also Invincible number 143. So let's start with Invincible 67. So this is obviously Robert Kirkman and Corey Walker. No Ryan Ottley in this issue, which is quite noticeable, to be honest with you, just of the drawing style. It's not that I dislike Corey Walker, but I prefer Ryan Ottley, to be honest with you. But there you go. There's some reptiles with Alan. And there's Thaddeus, very important character for those that don't know. Thaddeus is a very, very important character. I won't give it away because I think it's something that you should read yourselves or watch the series and you'll find out who he is. Thaddeus. Then in issue number 143, we have Atom Eve and Mark Grayson. There's also another quite important part of the storyline at the beginning of this issue. I won't give it away because I think I think you should read it. But this is a very important part of the storyline. I actually read mine through trade paperbacks. I have issues 1 to 25. And I really enjoyed them. They're one of my favourite comics series, to be honest with you. And it was a great way to read everything. It was I read 4 or 5 comics all at once. Those trade paperbacks I could take on the plane. Very, very easy to transport. I also then didn't need to worry too much about damaging them. So it was they're a great thing to use, and great medium to read on. So back to these two Invincible comics. So I picked these up for $10 each, which I think is not too bad a purchase. As I said before, I kind of aim between 5 and 10. Some of the later issues, so this is issue 143. There's probably around about 15,000 to 20,000 of them. And the earlier run, earlier part of the series, there's probably 5 to 10,000, 7,000, something like that. So the lower, Invincible #1 through to 19, there's quite a lot lower. So those are very, very key books, and they're rare-ish, but that's some of my pickups. So I'm very happy to add these to my Invincible collection. Pick these up for $20. So there we are. That's the end of part 2. There will probably be a part 3 and maybe even a part 4 coming up. So keep an eye out for it. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.